Hi guys, David Stone here with another episode of Living Fearlessly. And we're all about trying to get rid of that anxiety, get rid of the worry, get rid of the self-doubt, build up our self-esteem, build up our self-confidence so that you can go forward and live the life that you've dreamed about. Get rid of those barriers. You know, anxiety, self-doubt, they're like this giant anchor that we're hanging on to and dragging behind us. And you can't build up any kind of momentum or speed when you're doing that. And one of the biggest obstacles that we have is our own impression of ourselves, the self-image that we have. We've talked in past about self-esteem and how to build that up. Well, one of the things that we all need to do more frequently, more often, more energetically, is to acknowledge ourselves as being really fine human beings and capable human beings. You know, we were not trained to acknowledge ourselves. We were not trained to recognize ourselves and hold ourselves up and admire ourselves. And in fact, the training we all got was the absolute opposite. You remember, you know, we were all told, now don't get a swelled head, don't get too big for your britches, nobody likes a braggart. And this isn't about being bragging in any kind of a way. This is simply about recognizing your capability, your worth as a human being. Because you've got tremendous amount of worth. But when you're constantly putting yourself down, you know, so think about this. When somebody offers you a compliment, somebody says, wow, you did a really good job on that, or you're looking really good today, or any of those, you know, something that is a real compliment, how do we typically respond? We typically deflect it, don't we? Oh, shucks, you know, oh, it was nothing. Or, you know, oh, anybody could have done that. Or it wasn't so good. Or, you know, this old shirt, you know. And we put these compliments down. We deflect them. And we're being given this lovely little gift, and yet we're so uncomfortable receiving it. That's because we've been trained to put ourselves down. There's an old phrase, they cut off the tall poppies, right? We don't want anybody to stand out in the crowd. Well, that's exactly what you want to do. Not necessarily in the crowd, but you want to stand out in your own mind as being a really wonderful human being who's capable of taking on these challenges that life is throwing at you, who's capable of rising to tremendous heights, of accomplishing all the things that you've ever dreamed about. That's who you are. And if you don't believe it, no one else is going to believe it. So what we want to do is train ourselves to compliment ourselves in the first place, accept the compliments that others are offering. But let's go beyond that and talk about how, you know, we want to regularly recognize the things that you do through the day. So, you know, when you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm going to have a great day. And as you go through your day and as you accomplish the things that you've set out to accomplish, pat yourself on the back. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself and say, yeah, I did that. I did do, you know, the exercise, the 30 minutes of exercise that I wanted to do today. I did eat well today. I avoided that, you know, the really tempting donuts and you know, the high fat foods and the high sugar foods. And I treated other people well today, and I pushed hard and I accomplished some things in my work today or in my schoolwork today that, you know, I achieved things beyond what my expectations of myself were. You got to take a moment and pat yourself on the back. You got to take a moment and acknowledge yourself, because then your self-esteem starts to build up. And the higher your self-esteem, the more you're willing to try. The more you're willing to try things that might seem a little bit risky. And you're saying, but now you can remember you've got this big stockpile of accomplishments that you've already achieved, and you're very aware of them. So instead of deflecting those compliments that you even pay yourself, let alone somebody else, you acknowledge them and you say, okay, that's great. And you build up this stockpile, this inventory of accomplishments. And the bigger your inventory of accomplishments, or at least the ones that you've recognized, the more you're likely to take on new ones, new challenges, bigger challenges, and the more you'll rise to those occasions and be able to come through with those as well. So let's change our self-talk, shall we? And instead of putting ourselves down all the time, let's turn it around and build ourselves up. Remember to acknowledge yourself. And if you'd like to talk to me about how to, some more tips on how you can build up your own self-esteem, how to build up your own self-confidence, I would love to chat with you. So right there's my email address. Pop me an email. It'll come straight to me. I promise I will get back to you and I will acknowledge you, and we can have a little chat and talk about how you can build up self-esteem, how you can become more self-confident to take on the things that you want to do in your life. Now, if you're enjoying these YouTube videos, and please, like them, comment on them, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you subscribe here. And I will see you again very soon in the next Fearless Living episode. Take care.